Hi, I'm James Bell, GM's Head of Consumer Affairs. I want to tell you a little story. When I started hearing about the new 2014 Corvette, the first bits I got wind of was the technological bones of the car, what it was going to be made of, what its weight balance was going to be, what its power to weight ratio was going to be, what sort of engine, what transmission. All the technological bits and pieces started to come together. And in my mind, this was going to be a beautiful car. It didn't really even matter what the outside looked like. And then we got to see the new 2014 Stingray. And I'll tell you a quick story. You know, there's a lot of pressure for the designers at General Motors who are assigned to do with the Corvette. There's so much heritage here. There's so much history. It's a lot of a weight on their shoulders to create a new version of the Corvette. And apparently, as this particular vehicle started to come together in the production form that you see here today, there was a moment where Ed Welburn, our design chief, stood back and looked at it and said, that's the Stingray. And when you think about the Stingray, that is such a hallowed name. That's a very important name in the history of Corvette. It goes back to the 1963 version, which was not only a beautiful car from the outside, but again over-delivered technologically on the inside. And that's exactly what this car does. From a design perspective, I think there's a couple cool things. First off, when people see this vent here on the front, they say, "Oh, that looks great, but what's it doing?" Well, what it's doing is it's taking learnings from our C6 racing program and allowing the air to come in the front there and then roll over a radiator which has been placed at a bit of an angle and then allow that venting to come out the side. And I think that really makes a big difference to not only the way the car looks, but also allows that nose to get down low and create that classic Corvette kind of shark nose, if you will. Come along the side, you've got more venting here. It looks beautiful, but also relieves a lot of pressure here in the wheel well. Again, contributing to aerodynamics. Aerodynamics means the car sliding through the air cleaner, which means it's getting better fuel efficiency, which we'll talk about in a second. And then you come along the back here, you've got this vent. That's somewhat controversial at the Detroit Auto Show when the car was introduced until people learned what it's doing. It's basically drawing a great amount of air through here when you're at speed, and then venting it when it gets hot out here in the back. That's allowing cooling of the rear brakes and also for the transmission and differential. So not only are these design cues beautiful to look at and really make the car stand out and look attractive, but also contributing greatly to the technological prowess of the car. And when you think about that, it's a 455 horsepower, 6.2 liter V8 that's getting 29 miles per gallon. Now obviously the aerodynamics are contributing to that, lightweight materials are contributing to that, but also some great technology in the engine. In fact, one of them in particular, as you're driving down the highway just at cruising speed, it allows the car to turn off 4 of the cylinders and run as a 4-cylinder car. Of course, the fun part is that all that power is just underneath your foot when the road opens up again. And the last point I want to call out is the fact that the C6 Corvette, while it was a nice looking car, it had a great amount of power, it really over-delivered from the performance to dollar ratio, if you will. On the inside, it was lacking. And that was a very fair criticism that owners and the press all had about the car. Well, I think with this new C7, that criticism is gone. I mean, you've got an interior here that's very attention to detail is very similar to something you'd see from Porsche or Audi, and that's a big bogey for this car. It has to not only over-deliver in the classic performance sense as a Corvette should, but now also over-deliver on the inside. I mean, this is where we live with the car. This is where the relationship is established with the car, and I think this new 2014 Corvette Stingray is really going to make a lot of good friends.